Istiharah Bangunan Warisan Kebangsaan ni memang kita tak boleh nak ubah suai, nak baiki apa-apa. Semua itu
Seremban, originally known as Sungai Ujong, have existed since the 14th century. Sungai Ujong acquired its name from the cutting of a merbau tua tree incident in Rembau. In the era of Portuguese rule in Malacca, Sungai Ujong was under the jurisdiction of Sultan Johor in 1760. Before 1923, Negeri Sembilan still did not have any full 8 English schools that used English as the medium of instruction. Schools that existed before that year can be categorized under missionary secondary schools such as St. Mary's School, St. Paul, and Seremban Convent School built in 1907. Due to the increase in population and the mass migration of Malays from the interior to the city of Seremban, the existence of a full government-aided English school was much needed. The growing demand from the public, awareness of education, and the growing pressure, especially from the Malay community, eventually led to the formation of the Government English School on 15 January 1923, aimed to provide English education to children of Malays. An old warehouse belonging to Keretapi Tanah Melayu KTM in the city of Seremban, with a zinc roof, has been used as the school building. If reviewed, the actual location of this government English school is located on the grounds of King George V Secondary School. Rattan curtains divide this old warehouse into 7 classrooms and a headmaster's office. In 1926, the construction of the new King George V National Secondary School building, which replaced the government English school, began, and the main building was finally completed in 1927. Therefore, the temporary government English school building located in the warehouse was no longer used again starting in 1928. From that date, the ownership of the school was in the hands of the education administrator until 1941. The colonial buildings can be categorized into 4 architectural designs. The King George V National School building Seremban is designed using neo-Gothic elements for its similarities with the design of St. John's Secondary School and St. Mary's Church in Kuala Lumpur, which uses the same colonial architectural elements. This can be seen in the use of the Palladian, pediment, arches, pillars, and others that demonstrated the root of the British colonial era. The use of Palladian motifs on the brick design of the King George V National High School building proved that the British colonial era began to take root in the construction of buildings at that time. The earliest colonization of British rule in the Malay Peninsula took place in the late 18th century. British colonial buildings had a variety of foreign architectural design features that had been assimilated and adapted with the hot and humid local weather conditions. In general, the building of SMK King George V Seremban is designed symmetrical, that is, the left and right sides of the school are the same, and incorporate repetitious elements of external architecture. The building is made of majorly with concrete. There are several architectural elements that are used on the building, including ornamentations which are visible on the openings, doors, gates, roofs, and pillars throughout the building. Window openings are replaced with door openings for the purpose of providing adequate ventilation to the occupants in the building. There are a total of 136 doors in the whole building. The arrangement of windows are parallel from one class to another. In each class, there are 6 doors at the front and back. However, in the last 2 classes, only 2 doors were placed at the front. The arches are the key elements in this building. Without it, the building would seem very incomplete. The construction of these arches displayed the most prominent features of British influence. In total, the arches in this building consist of only 3 sizes, namely large arches, medium arches, and small arches. The entire ground floor of the school building uses concrete floors with several different types of floor finishes, while the entire second floor uses wood-type floor construction. There are several other spaces that used wood floorings, such as the attic space on the clock tower. The construction of the school wall is intended to divide the space of the school building into flexible smaller rooms depending on their function and use, such as classrooms, teachers' rooms, and others. The building used brick walls made of concrete and finished with cement plaster. The school uses two types of roof, which is the limas type roof found in the hall and left and right of the building. The second type is the limas roof, which is found on the main block of the school. The two roofs are separated by a gutter located between them. The roof truss is made of steel L-beam by using plate and bolt and also nut as its jointing system. The roof used is from the type of clay tile roof which is imported from France. Based on historical facts, this roof was actually brought by sea by French traders who came to trade in Malaya. The King George V School as a whole adapted Art Deco influences and a slight mixture of elements, which were classical elements adapted from Renaissance architecture. Similarly, the round arches and the use of an appropriate proportion ratio system showed the influence of Renaissance architecture on this building. There are 13 classrooms in the entire study building, namely 10 on the ground floor and 3 classrooms on the upper floor. The space located in this building is only used by Form 4 to lower Form 6 students only. The hallways are spacious spaces at about 10 feet wide. The foyer is a gathering place and the first location found when going up to the school building. It is in the middle section of the building, which connects the front and back of the building. The main hall building sits at the center among the 3 blocks of the building. The prominent element of this hall is its double-volume interior, which features curved balconies at the mezzanine floor, imitating ancient ballrooms in the British eras. The hardwood ceilings was also a unique character to be noted of the hall. In recent years, Yang Tuan Besar Negeri Sembilan Tuanku Mukhlis visited SMK King George V to officially inaugurate the main hall. Soon after, the hall was named after Tuanku Mukhlis as he was an alumnus of the school. Another iconic feature of the school is the central clock tower, which stands at 12 meters height. Engravings on its exterior displayed a neo-Gothic design, and pure copper are used for the clock components. The central piece also included a second-floor balcony and a porch at the ground floor. Together, it creates an obvious form of hierarchy as the building's center point. The school has its own unique design features, construction techniques, and sculptures. Efforts to preserve SMK King George V need to be made so that our heritage can be shown to future generations. The existence of the first English school for Malay children in Negeri Sembilan gives great meaning in the history of national education. Only after 104 years of British colonialism in Negeri Sembilan did they succeed to change their attitude and mentality to improve the education of the Malays. Essentially, the school is the hope for our people to appreciate heritage and culture in general.